Hello everyone, this is Real Talk with Matthew, coming to you in the doggy's room. It's getting late at night. It's about time for me to go to bed. I had something on my heart today though. It was really weird. I got in a conversation with one of my friends today. I've been friends with this guy for a long time, and he starts telling me about this person that I'm actually mad at right now, and says that person's not a Christian. You're better off that you're not messing around with him anymore. I was like, well, they say they're Christian. Well, they're not doing Christian behavior, because there's a couple of things going on, but hey, I mean, everybody, there's not one person on this planet that is 100% good. There's only one person on this planet that was free from sin 100%, and that was Jesus Christ, and they crucified him. So I go on, and he's like, blah, 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 and I was like, well, you smoke weed, don't you? I said, that's against the law. He tried to justify that stuff, and then I was like, well, your wife, she's an alcoholic, isn't she? Yeah, but blah, 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 I didn't want to do that to him, but it's like, to tell me somebody, because if somebody tells me they're Christian, you have to just believe that. You can't say that they're not. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been a Christian my whole life, and like, there's different levels of Christians though, is what I don't think people understand. And if this is what I get about reading this word, I've been trying to put that in people's head, that like reading this word is like watering, is making you grow. If you don't water it, you don't grow. So there's a lot of people that has been baptized and did what they're supposed to do to become a Christian, but they fell off. Jesus even talked about. I even talked about it in one of the sermons a while back, that you fall off the growth isn't there if you don't, like, you have to read this word. Yeah, this word is the living water he talks about. So like, everybody's not on the same level with their spirit, their spiritual connection with God. And I've been up and down with that, like throughout my entire life. There was one time when I was doing the show called The Beginnings, now is what I've named it, then my spirit was really connected with God, and I was reading my Bible a lot. Well, guess what? I fell off the wayside, and I went off, was doing stupid stuff. But it was, I'm actually going to do a sermon on this. My next sermon is going to be on this, where Paul talks about we do what we don't want to do, and we do what we're not supposed to. But something that basically we live in this flesh, and our flesh is what causes us to sin. The only thing that keeps us from not sinning is the Spirit of God. So I don't know. It's just I actually defended that person, even though I'm mad at that person. That was the Spirit in me saying this ain't right. I mean, it's not right. Because I didn't want to defend this person. Trust me, I did not want to defend this person, but I couldn't just not. So I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know why I got off on this, but it's, I just knew I needed to do an episode. That's what was on my mind. Today was a good day. Work went by smoothly, and I got to go to my small group. Got to take the pasta I made in the last video, the seafood Alfredo. I got to take it to the small group, and we was talking about this. It was really, really weird that like all this came up. It was what the preacher had talked on. That's what our small group does. We discuss on what the preacher had preached on Sunday, and it was talking about look at the plank in your eye. Don't try to get the speck out of your brother's eye. Because I don't know. It's just we really need to focus on ourselves. And that I'm guilty of that, because the situation I've been in, it's like I'm just really need to focus on what I'm doing and how I'm reacting to stuff. And I can be an asshole. I mean, I try not to be, and I'm not most of the time, but I can be, and I think everybody on this planet can be. So, just what I'm trying to get at is, I wish that everybody could show each other more compassion and more love. And that I'm talking about myself, But this whole world is just full of like bad stuff going on. These wars and killings and these mass murders, and it's just, man, this world has got out of control. Me growing up as a kid, I remember when Columbine happened. That was like the first time I'd ever seen that. I was in high school when that happened, and it was scary / weird. I think it was more weird than it was scary. I wasn't really scared nobody's gonna come do it at school, but it was really, I remember it being really, really strange that I'd never seen it. And then nothing like that happened for a while that I can remember. And then it just started happening, like it just became a regular thing. And it's not really the guns so much. It's like they've took away the mental hospitals and stuff, and I don't know. They need to reopen up all these psych wards, and they need to get people evaluated, and they need to get people on their medicine and stuff. I know a few people that when they get off their medicine, my buddy, he got off his medicine a while back, and boy, he was a strange bird, I'm blessed by God that I don't have to take no medicine for psychological reasons. I have to take blood pressure medicine and metformin for diabetes, but like I'm working on trying to get all that stuff out. What I do is I read the Word of God, and I try to do the best I can in life. Try to treat people like like I want to be treated. It's hard though sometimes, I think there was one verse I was going to actually try to read. Let me see if I can get it. And we know, this is in Romans 6:28, and we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God, to those who are the called according to His purpose, for whom He foreknew, He also preceded for the confirmed to the image of His own Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brethren. So it says all things work together for the good of those who love God, and that's what I'm trying to hold on to, because there's just stuff that goes on in life that you wonder, why God, why did this happen, or why is this going on? But it says all things work for the good of those who love God. I love God, and I just got to remember that, man. I'm glad I got to see that verse tonight, because it was it all happened today just over some silly little argument I had. And my buddy, he wouldn't shut up about it. He just kept on blowing my phone up. Had to ignore him today, and he got off on this news stuff about Israel and child molestations and all this other stuff, and asked me if I thought they was Christians, and just went crazy on me. And I'm like, I just ignored it. Sometimes you gotta ignore people when they start acting crazy like that. I don't know what's going on in the world today, but I know that I wish that everybody get along. I really do. 'Cause this world could be a good world. That's the way God set it up to be, but there's just so much evil. We got the devil here, and I don't know. I'll be honest with everybody. I do not want to be here when the tribulation happens, if all this is, because I've got to do more research on all that, because they say pre-trib and all this other stuff. The Revelation is the hardest book in the Bible for me to understand. Maybe I have to do some fasting and some really strong prayer to get revelation from Revelations, because I've read that book a couple times, and it's pretty hard to understand. with all this end of the world and all these things that end up happening. You know, I'll be honest with you, I do not want to be here. I'm hoping that I live to be however old God wants me to live, and I die that way. I don't want to be here when the shit hits the fan, so to speak. I do not want to be here. Anyways, it was good. It was good seeing everybody tonight, and I just want to tell everybody that I love y'all. Love everybody. It's hard to do that. I don't love everybody all the time. I mean, I eventually end up having to go back to that, though. I mean, I've been mad at a few people here lately, and it's like, I don't know, it's hard not to be mad sometimes, but, you know, you can't stay in that. And I know that if you don't forgive people, you can't get to heaven. And I pray that everybody, because it says if you don't forgive, your Father won't forgive you. So I try to not stay mad at people too long, because it's not healthy, it's not good. You know, what if I get in a damn car wreck or something going down the road? I'm done in this hate mode. It says if we hate somebody, we've murdered them in our heart. Jesus made the law easier when he died on that cross, but he also made it harder in some ways. Because some of the stuff's a lot stricter, because back then it's like murder was actually murdering somebody. But under Jesus' new covenant, or whatever you want to call it, this new thing when he died on the cross for us, the gospel, he made stuff a lot harder in some ways. He made it easier to get to heaven, but murder is like hating somebody. That's what Jesus says, if you hate somebody in your heart, you've murdered them. He says if you look at a woman with lust, you've committed adultery. If you're married, I guess even if you're not married, there's some kind of sin involved with that. I got to do more research on that, but he's made it a lot harder in some areas. Like it's a lot harder, but you know, I was trying not to do this in, you know, this real talk show. I was trying not to make it about God so much, but I mean, that's what my life is. And that's just, I stay in constant contact with God. I mean, I get mad at God sometimes. You know, I'd be asking him why this happened, and why that happened, and why this ain't happening. When is this going to happen? I mean, I pester God to death some days. I know he's like, man, can you just shut up for a minute, Matthew? I've got this. I've got this, and you're worrying too damn much. And that's just what I've got to learn, to not worry as much. Worrying is from the evil one, and because I know God has me at the end of the day, and everything's going to be okay. It's just still going through. I'm at the end of the storm. I feel like I can see some sunshine, and so. Anyways, with that, y'all have a good night. God bless.